Hey Brad, this is Keaton Everett with ABC going over your pitching video. We're going to go through and kind of look at a few things and break down your mechanics and kind of pause it at a couple key points I like to look at and just kind of talk a little bit about, how to make ourselves consistent, how to generate the most power, how to increase some velocity, ultimately, most importantly, how do we keep ourselves healthy. Uh, and right off the bat, everything's pretty solid here. Big kid, you look big and strong, and so much of pitching is strength, it's coordination. Um, so you're doing a lot of things right, which is really good. All right, so um, where we're going to start is looking at how you're starting. How we start dictates how we finish. If we're not starting in a very good position, we're not going to end in a very good position, or we're going to have to fight ourselves a lot and lose some power, lose some efficiency. All right, so let's go and we'll start with looking at how you're starting. All right, so off the bat, one of the things I'm going to do is check at your head and see what it does as you start lifting your leg. All right, and you're going to see it's over that back foot pretty good. All right, we want to make sure that we're loaded up probably about 80% on that back foot, 20% on that front foot. We don't want to see any movement backwards. All right, you're not doing a whole lot of movement backwards, so just make sure that you're setting up 80% on that back foot. You're on the balls of your feet, you're not on your heels, and so you're doing a pretty good job there. All right, now the biggest thing with pitching and developing power and developing torque is using our hips. We want the hips to lead. We want to make sure that the lower half is doing the throwing and not the upper half. All right. It's tough to see at this angle because we're a little bit ahead of you. We're not really dead on, but we want to make sure that this back foot is getting a little bit over this this front foot's getting a little bit over that back foot. So it's looking like you're a little bit ahead. You're kind of not getting really closed with that leg. There might be just a little bit farther back with that knee. Again, I can't really tell at this position, but we want to make sure that back foot is at least getting over. I keep saying that back foot, but we want that front foot at least getting over that back foot to get those hips in the right position. All right. You're breaking your hands good. All right. You're leading with those hips, which is perfect. All right. A lot of times you're going to see this front foot pop open. All right. You're staying closed. You're breaking your hands real well. All right, you're driving with those legs. One of the things as we're breaking down this video, what you're going to see is you're getting too stiff leg out front. You'll kind of see this pop open here. You're getting stiff leg right about here. All right, we don't ever want to see this leg get stiff until you're driving through the front half and you're releasing the ball. Okay, so you see this leg just lock up and kind of rotate out, and what you're doing is you're just kind of cutting yourself off a little bit. You're gonna, if you're looking at the front, you're gonna see this toe pointed towards the first baseman. So you're kind of popping open early. You're losing some hips. So you're losing some hip strength, popping open early, and you're losing stride length. At this spot, your foot's just about hitting the ground. I think you can pick up probably another foot length. You just want to make sure that you're driving down that hill and getting yourself in that position to utilize that lower half, especially with you and your size. Just use that lower half a little bit more. All right, don't stiffen that leg out. Just kind of kick that heel out and just stride it out to a point where you're just not getting so stiff-legged. And I'm going to show you what I mean too. Is that at foot strike, it's just almost stiff already off the bat. And I'll go through and kind of talk a little bit more about that in a second. But at this position, we still want to see you loaded up on this backside a little bit more. And the overall theme of this is that your upper body is getting ahead of your lower body. All right, we want to see your feet in about this position, and then right as you're releasing, then it's stiffening up. All right. So the reason that this is happening, the reason part of the reason is you're not striding as far as you can, but the reason is you're really early with your upper body. All right, you can see right at foot strike here, you're starting to rotate early with your upper half. This front shoulder is rotating with your hip. All right, we want to see the hip rotate before that shoulder. All right, and then you're seeing yourself, your spine at this position, and we want to see it back a little bit farther. So you're just letting that upper body get ahead of that lower half. All right. So we'll go back from the start and kind of look what you're. This position is really solid up until that part where you stiffen your leg up, and you can watch your. We're going to watch the ball path here. So focus in on your hand back here. And you're going to see that this hand just kind of comes in and then gets up and goes forward. So your arms just dragging through it. It's kind of rolling through the motion. You're not able to get up on top of the ball. Being so tall and big, you want to get up on top of that ball and drive it downhill. So at this position, we want to see this ball get above the elbow. You know, at foot strike, we want to see your arm, you know, let me get to the line. We want to see this arm back up here, that ball up above the ear, instead of, you know, it just never gets up on top of the ball. You're just kind of rolling it through and you're pushing it. We want to make sure that we're getting that arm up, you know, almost in this position right here, but your elbow is going to be farther back this way. It's just not rotated as much. You know, if you were to take this position and rotate this elbow back towards first base, that's that position we want. We want to make sure that you're up on top of the ball so you can get out and use more angle. All right. So the biggest thing with that is your arm is just late. All right. Your arm's late. It's just not getting up on top. So just focus on getting that arm up on top before that front side's opening up, and that's going to get you in that position to utilize that torque. And torque is, we want to see this back knee starting to turn over. We want to see this position before that elbow, before that right shoulder is rotating forward. So you just kind of rotate at the same time. All right? And then you're going to see, because you're stiff-legged, because you're not using that lower half as much, you're going to see this back foot pop up off the ground before you release the ball. And we want to see that back foot still on the ground, driving through that front side, and you're going to see yourself pick up about another 6 inches or so of release point. You're going to see it back out here, and you're going to see that foot on the ground. And then once you release the ball, then that foot's going to come off the ground. All right. So all it really is for you is a matter of getting that hand going quicker on the glove and trying to sync yourself up where your hips are doing more work before that upper body. All right. So it's just a matter of just in this position, I want to see that ball up here somewhere. You just got to get that arm up a little bit quicker. You know, in this position, it's pretty solid. You know, your front glove isn't popping out a little bit early. It's kind of staying closed, which is good. Keeping this glove out over that front foot a little bit longer is going to help you get through that back leg a little bit more, because you can see that your glove disappears right here. You know, you can't even tell you have the glove. We want to try to see it stuck a little bit more onto that front foot, which is going to help us use our legs more. You know, it's just a matter of using that lower half, you know, and just keeping that front shoulder closed as long as possible. We want to make sure that that lower half, those hips are rotating before that upper body. You want that right hip to fire, and then you want that right shoulder to come through. You know, use those legs, extend out there. But other than that, everything is foundationally there. It's all pretty solid. You're in a good, healthy position. Now it's just a matter of syncing up everything, timing everything, and really starting that arm up a little bit quicker. I mean, when you see it regular motion, it's not as noticeable. When you really break it down, you can kind of see that just with your height. We want to get on top of that ball. We're not trying to change arm angle. We just want to get up on top of that ball and drive that ball downhill and get out, extend, use our legs as much as we can. So anyways, hope you had a great time at camp. We look forward to seeing you again with ABC, and hopefully you're having a great season.